ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुරු श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. So we'll continue the revision of chapter 9 quickly and then we'll start from chapter 10. I'll be a bit quick today, lots of items to cover. So we're reading this item number 24 last time, Tasyagre Tandavam. So Tandavam is good kirtan. We discussed about it, the importance of kirtan, the importance of raising hands and even jumping on the floor. It satisfies the demigods as well as our pitras, our ancestors. So as per our capacity, we should dance nicely in front of Gopinath for Gopinath's pleasure. Bowing down in the honor of deity, Dandavan Natihi. So this is very important. We must bow down whenever we see the deities, including our home deities. Now, at different occasions, we may be able to bow down differently, but the point is we must acknowledge the presence of deity, especially in the temple. And bowing down is very, very powerful. It says by one bowing down in front of Krishna's deity or Lord Vishnu's deity, all the sinful reactions for past millions of life gets washed away very, very quickly. Is standing up to receive the Lord. This we are looking from Rath Yatra perspective. So if Lord is on the street, if we see the Lord, anyone who gets up to receive the Lord, Lord becomes very pleased. Following the deity, again, similar example of Rath Yatra, we go with the Lord. We follow the Lord's procession, even for few steps. It's extremely powerful. Going to the temple of Vishnu or to the places of pilgrimage, this is comes under Padasevanam. So Padasevanam means using our feet and doing some seva for the Lord, or we doing some seva for the feet of the Lord. Both ways is correct, Padasevanam. So anytime going to the dham, going to temple, doing parikrama, even many things which we offer to the Lord also comes under Padasevanam. Very important. Now the main job when we arrive to the dham is not just to take bath in the Ganga and Jamuna, which is very nice, but the main job in the dham is to hear from different Vaishnavas, because many great Vaishnavas are there in the dham. If you just do the sightseeing and take some dip in a river, in a holy river, Bhagavatam says, I'm not saying it, that person is considered as Go Khara. Go means guy, Khara means donkey. So that person is only as good as a cow or a donkey. So yeah, it's not very not the best thing to do just to take a dip in the Ganga. Many times people go even to take darshan of the Lord, which is very nice, and they come out very quickly. Once Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj was giving a class, and someone came. He went towards the altar and he came back. While he was exiting from the door, Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj said, "So how was your eye massage?" So looking at the deity, which is considered very auspicious, and it is auspicious, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, so how was your eye massage? So if you only go to the temple just to see the deity, Again, for practical reasons, sometimes it may not be possible, but the whole purpose, the predominant purpose of going to temple or dham should be to hear. Hearing is the most important seva. My Guru Maharaj emphasized so many times, when a sadhu comes, you must hear. Stop everything else. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, I think I gave this example, I repeat again, very beautiful. Went to some disciples' house, and when Maharaj arrived, they gave a seat to Maharaj and all the normal respects and honor. And then they went back to the kitchen to cook. And when Maharaj was sitting there, they did not come out, both husband and wife. Again, they were preparing feast. And when they came out, Maharaj said, I'm leaving now. And Maharaj, we haven't started as yet. Maharaj said, the time I allocated to you, you spent in the kitchen, not listening from me. So when a sadhu comes, we should try. My Guru Maharaj said, stop everything in the world when Bhagavatam class is going on. Now we don't follow it, but we should follow this. Hearing is the most important service. There is no other service which is more important than hearing. Maharaj Parikshit only did hearing. He did not massage the feet of Shukdev Goswami. He did not offer any clothes or food items, this and that. So, if hearing is the service which is being given, or there is an opportunity for hearing, you must prioritize hearing. So, for Dham also, hearing is topmost. When we even have our program, sometimes devotees are again elaborate preparations, this and that. Class is going on, only 4 people are there, and 16 people are outside. It should not be the case. The whole purpose of a program is to hear. There's nothing else more important. Everything else is extremely secondary or tertiary even. It says whenever Krishna Katha is going on, Ram Katha is, Hanumanji is personally present there. And when devotees Katha is going on, Hanuman Katha, Ramji is present. So when Ramji and Hanumanjis are present, why are we not present in the Katha? And similarly, some devotees, anyway, lot to say there. They scroll their phone within the Katha. I've seen many times. Like, what are we doing? And not once, many, many times. So once you are hearing, just focus on hearing. This is the best way of purification, including chanting japa. Okay, circumambulating the temple of Lord Vishnu, Sthane Parikrama. Again, this is a nice opportunity to say thanks to the Lord when we do parikrama of the Lord as much as possible in different temples. We should not do parikrama if the deities are resting, similar to bow down as well, but we can still acknowledge the deities with folded hands. We can offer some mental prayers. We can do all those things. Okay. One more point which Purijan Prabhu mentions. I have written it. If one doesn't perform bhakti with ruchi, taste, then bhava will never come. So, we need to do all these activities, but with some ruchi. Even if you do with agyan, with unknowingly, these activities will still bestow the mercy on the person who's doing it. But if you do with gyan, knowledge, it really is an opportunity for me to purify myself by doing this seva. Lord will be very pleased with this seva. So while you're doing the seva, you're meditating on the mercy of the Lord. That same activity gives much higher spiritual benefit to the performer. So when we are doing the seva, we should be very conscious. Sankarshan Maharaj said, first we should become conscious, then Krishna conscious. So many times we are not even present there, including the class. We just sitting in the class, just to as a duty or just to get our attendance done. No, we should be present in the class, because by that presence, the purification will be very fast, because we are listening to great teachers. Archana refers to the deity worship, so the whole temple is actually centered around deity worship. If you see in our temple, Radha Gopinath, he gets 7 aartis a day, 6 offerings a day, 2 times dress getting changed. Everything is around deities, deities, deities. And with the deities comes the festivals. And the guest, whoever comes, they are the guests of the deities, basically. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj explains a pastime when he was in Vrindavan in the very, very early days with Ghanshyam Baba. And Ghanshyam Baba will always treat Radhanath Maharaj, that time not initiated, but we still treat him as a guest of Gopinath, guest of Krishna. So he will, Radhanath Maharaj very humbly will say, I'm just a little person, but that pujari of the temple, Ghanshyam Baba, will always treat Maharaj, no, you're the guest of my deities. Huh? So whenever we go to temple, we should treat others with the same respect. They are the guest of Gopinath, not consider I am the guest of the Gopinath. People are not treating when I say no. It's our duty to treat other devotees as guest of Gopinath. It's not your friend, it's not your husband, wife, son, or this and that. In the temple, they are the guest of Gopinath. It's very, very important. And even our acharyas have given simple deity worship at home. So if we can do some deity worship at home, it's very, very important. My Guru Maharaj was a big fan of deity worship. He said, even if you do very simple, you must do it. Do not avoid, do not skip. Even if you come late night, you must do whatever little you put for yourself, do it from morning to evening, whatever your simplest schedule is. But he said deity worship is very, very important. And he always emphasized the relationship with the deities, including temple deities, obviously. So he said you must have good relationship with the temple deities. That means you should visit the temple, see the deities, and do some seva for the deities. By doing that seva, by visit, by darshan, you'll have deeper relationship with the deities. So he emphasized a lot on deity worship. And obviously, one last thing which we discussed last week, our home deities are expansion of temple deities. So we should not stop our temple seva because we have to do home seva. So always temple deities are prioritized for all the congregation devotees. So as much as possible you do to Radha Gopinath, but because you cannot go 7 days a week, twice a day, you have the same Radha Gopinath as an expanded form in our home altar. So if you look at that way, services will be prioritized properly. Rendering service to the Lord, paricharya, different types of services are there. Any service that you can do. It says once you take responsibility for Krishna, Krishna becomes very pleased. So don't just do casual seva. Casual seva means whenever I come, I do some seva. Yeah, that's nice. Take some responsibility for Krishna. You say, no, Prabhuji in the kitchen, for example, I'll come every Sunday, 12 o'clock. I'll help you for 2 hours. Every Sunday I'll come. I'll come and do cleaning seva. I'll come and do DT kitchen seva. Whatever seva one is good at, we should go and try to do. Take it as responsibility. So that is very, very pleasing. Casual seva is good, but yeah, responsibility, because responsibility is always tough. When we commit, it becomes very a big statement. Every Ekadashi I'll come. Every Wednesday morning I'll come for Prabhupada dressing or something like that. Take some commitment for Krishna. That is very, very pleasing. One devotee was telling once, it's not the numbers which pleases Krishna, it's the commitment which pleases Krishna. So you may be able to do, 6 rounds, for example, in the beginning, or 8 rounds, but it's the commitment which is more important to Krishna. So even if it is a small thing, take commitment for Krishna. Krishna, I'll try to do this. Please help me. I really want to do this. And the commitment will mean an anxiety for you. And that's why I've seen many devotees, they don't take commitment. Say, Prabhu, agar aa jayenge to kar denge. If I come, because they want to be free. No, we have to bind ourselves with our seva. We'll talk about seva a little more later. Singing, so we read that last week, so we should sing for the pleasure of the deity. Sankirtan, japa. Japa is like self-chanting. Sankirtan is chanting together. Again, Sankirtan has many meanings. Book distribution or any preaching seva is also Sankirtan, because this is, we are spreading the glories, the fame of Krishna. Vigyapti, submission. So this is where I spent some time last week. I'll just re-spend some more time because this is very important in our day-to-day life. So Vigyapti, or submission, opening the mind, offering words or sentiments for the Lord. So there are 3 types. Anyone remembers what the 3 types are? It's already on the screen though. Giriraj Prabhu or Mataji, anyone?
Some Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
some pratha
So
pratnatmika.
so you can break in 3 words, Mataji. Sam prarthana atmika. Sam
Some
prarthana atmika.
So yes, so like it's
Prema.
mean offering from core of your heart. The example you gave, like a young woman and young man, like they are nobody like teaches them to be attracted to each other. That's come from heart.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's
Second,
natural. No one has to train them. No one has to tell a boy, when you go to the college, get attracted to a girl. You have to tell it other way. Don't get attracted, huh? So, yeah.
yes. Second is Danya Vodhika. It means like expressing, like we express ki, like we are such a fallen soul, like this. But we should not, like we should be thankful ki we are fallen soul and you have accepted me. Like
Hmm.
we should be thankful to Krishna.
Yep. So danya means humility. So
Yeah.
presenting ourselves very humbly with no pride. I am so and so, and I have this role and that role. No, no, I'm very deenheen. I'm very, very a small person. But as again, as Mataji said, but oh my Lord, you're so kind. You have accepted a low person like myself. This is very kind of you, my Lord. Any examples anyone else remembers while Mataji is defining the terms? So she gave one example for the first one, which is from Padma Puran.
Yes.
For the second one, anyone remembers? Anyone else?
Okay.
Narottam Das Thakur,
Yes,
he
ma'am.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur,
Can
Kunti
you
Mataji.
say a bhajan, one line, Mataji, just for refreshments?
I'm not
So
sure of
Narottam
that.
Das Thakur is correct. Anyone else remembers the bhajan? And there can be more
Shri
examples. Like
Chaitanya, Prabhu Daya Karo More.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Daya
Prabhu
Karo More,
Karo.
Musa Ma Patit Prabhu Na Pai Beara. So basically, Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Musa Ma Patit, I'm so fallen, you will not find any other fallen soul like me. But this is one example. Any other examples? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you remember the bhajan? Anyone else? Acharya Nishtha Prabhu. Again, it can be more examples. It doesn't have to be this limited example. There's so many Vaishnava bhajans which are
Radha Krishna Pranamura.
that's a little different one, Prabhu. That if we will come to it, it's a Lal Samai
Wow.
example. Yeah. So which is very, very high stage. So we're still at Danya Bodhika. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Amara Jivan is Sada Pape Rate. So Amara Jivan means my Jivan, my life, Sada Pape. I'm always engaged in sinful activities. Now it's not Bhaktivinoda Thakur's life, it's our life. We are like that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is just expressing the conditioning of a normal jiva. Um, yeah, so like this. One more thing which we discussed last week about Danya Bodhika. Danya Bodhika, this humility is not self-pity. Self-pity means I am so low that I cannot do anything. And sometimes it also gets converted to inferiority complex. I cannot go amongst a group of people because I am just so low. I don't look good, I don't speak well, and they are just super performance and this and that. So we get inferiority complex. Is it what mean by Danya Bodhika? Sakhi Radhika Mata?
No, Prabhu. It means that we have taken out ourselves from it. It is like self pity means that we are still, our
In center.
consciousness is,
We are
we are in the center.
yes.
When self compassion could be a different thing,
Yeah.
but here we're talking about that we are most fallen means we are putting ourselves the most that way.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
That-
Mata.
Yeah.
So we want to become Krishna-centered, not self-centered. So when we say self-pity, inferiority complex, I am X, Y, and Z. I am. I don't have this God. I. It's still about I. But when you're talking about this humility here, this danya here, is danya is centered around Krishna. Krishna, you're so kind, huh? And the people like me who are although so fallen, but you still accept them. Chaitanya Prabhu gives this fantastic words. He said, a non-devotee, we're talking about this inferiority complex people, they are false ego frustrated. They don't have capacity to perform. They don't have capacity to be number one, although they want to be. They want to be. And the example given was of Duryodhan. Duryodhan always wanted to beat Pandavas in everything, but he didn't have the skills actually to beat Pandavas. Pandavas were not competing with him, but Duryodhan was competing with him. That's why he didn't have any self-worth. He was always like, unless I defeat these people, I cannot establish myself. But it says between devotees, there's no competition. You can be good, and there can also be another person who's also good. You can be best, other person can also be best. Once Prabhupada was asked, who is the best devotee? Prabhupada says, Yudhishthir Maharaj is the best devotee. In another class, he said, Prahlad Maharaj is the best devotee. In another class, Prabhupada said, Gopis are the best devotees. So one day, disciples asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you said Gopis are the best, Prahlad Maharaj is the best, Yudhishthir is the best. So Prabhupada said, yes, Yudhishthir is the best, Prahlad is the best of the best, Gopis are the best of the best of the best. And then disciple asked, so Prabhupada, who is the best? He said, everyone is best. That means all these great personalities, they're all best. There's no competition. In itself, they're all best. Hanumanji is also a best devotees. Mother Yashoda is also the best devotees. Gopis are also the best devotee. In different rasas, they are having different exchanges with the Lord, and they are best. They are fully satisfied in that rasa. Hanumanji never thinks, "Let me become Gopi tomorrow." Even Lord Ram wants to hug him. He is not very comfortable. He is very comfortable in the lotus feet of Lord Ram. Um, yeah, so it's not about our false ego, which is frustrated, but it's called false ego rejected. We don't have any false ego about ourselves. Whatever disqualifications we have, Lord will still accept me and purify me and take me forward. So we have to understand this Danya Bodhika or any humility which comes in these topics should be understood properly. It's not, devotees are actually very, very positive people and they're very qualified people. But they're just humble. But inside their heart, they're not seeking any attention from that perspective. Okay. Actually, I came across a verse. I would like to read that. It's very nice. This is BRS 1 to 154 or CC Madhya 1.190. You can refer to that. It's a beautiful verse, which is an example of Danya Bodhika. Matatulyo nasti papatma na pradhi cha kakshana parihare pilajja me kim bruve purushottama. It's a beautiful verse. It says, Matatulyo na asti papatma. So you can understand, Matatulyo. In comparison to me, you will not find any other papatma, any other sinful person, you will not find who is as sinful as me. Na aparadhi chakashana, and you'll also not find anyone who is more offensive than me. So I am very, very sinful. I am very, very aparadhi. Parihare pi lajja me. And if I want to say, I want to utter what I have done, lajja me, my eyes become very shameful. Can you compare to your own life somewhere? All of us, would have done something or many of those things where we even cannot utter those words, which we are aware of. How much we have done which we are not aware of, that's a different story. For millions of life, we have been doing so many abominable activities, so many offenses. Amrendra Prabhu was giving a class and he was saying, devotee class, obviously. He was saying, all of us sitting here, that means we have already done devotion in the past life. Okay? But why are you sitting here? Because you have done some offense in the past. You have done devotion, you have done offense, you have taken birth again. Now, he said, now you don't do offense anymore now. Devotion you are doing, no problem with that. Offense you don't do. So because if you offend again a Vaishnava, your guru or another Vaishnava, you have to take birth again and just continue that. So bhakti is going on, but offenses must stop now. So parihare bilajjame. So I get very ashamed in even telling what I have done. Kim Brume, what can I say? Purushottama, hey Purushottam, what can I say? So basically, it's an example of Danya Bodhika. The devotee is presenting himself in front of Lord. Lord, I'm very, very low, but Purushottama, you are Purushottama. You are Uttama in Purusha. You are Uttama, and you are so Uttama. Uttama also has many meanings. One of the meaning of Uttama is you are the best. Another meaning of Uttama is Uttama. You can uplift me from this darkness. I'm in the darkness. Uttama. Tama means darkness. Ut means Uttan. You can uplift me from this darkness. My dear Lord, please be kind on me. So, like these prayers, we should read on a daily basis. They're beautiful prayers, and that sets our mind consciousness nicely. I'll just read that again. Matulyo nasti papatma na paradhi chakashana parihare pi lajja me kim bruve purushottama. And other examples are, which I thought I'll just, Markine Bhagavad, Prabhupada also writes that this is the prayer in Jalduta. So Prabhupada wrote 2 poems. This is the second one. And he says, Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi. Bhakti nahi, I have no bhakti. Bedi nahi, I don't know any Vedas. I don't have any knowledge. I don't have any bhakti. Naam is Bhakti Vedanta. My name has been given as Bhakti Vedanta, but I have no Bhakti, no Vedanta. That means I don't understand Veda. I don't have any Bhakti for you. So if you have brought me here, if you want me to become successful, now you can make me successful. So again, you see, first line, you'll see devotees are saying, I am very low. And second line said, Lord, you can help me. So Lord's presence is there, Lord's compassion, kindness is always there. So they are called Danya Bodhika prayers. And we also discussed Narottam Das Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajan. Lal Samai. What does Lal Samai mean? Okay, we'll go back to Acharya Nishtha Prabhu, if he's there. Oh, sorry, Acharya Nishtha, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So, Lal Samai, would you like to say the definition? You gave the example, Prabhu. If you don't remember, that's fine. That's okay.
Ah,
Mataji,
I read it, Prabhuji, but I forgot. Yeah.
no problem. We're all learning. I'm also reading Prabhuji, so I'm accepting. If I don't read, I also forget. Anyone else remember the definition of Lal Samai?
Ardent desire, Prabhu.
Ardent desire. One more point to
One who
complete that.
one who has a ardent desire for some specific service.
As per his Sarupa.
As per-
So ardent desire, intense desire as per his Sarupa. That's very important. So I may have just a general desire, very deep desire, which is very nice, but ardent desire to do a specific seva as per my own Sarupa, because they are very, very advanced devotee. The one difference which Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells, what's the difference between Samprarthana Atmika versus Lalsamai? So the first one appears in the devotees who have not come to the Bhava stage. But Lalsamai comes in those devotees who have crossed the Bhava stage. The Bhava is already there. Prema, they know their Sarupa and they aspire for that seva. So in this Deha, we'll talk about the Siddha Deha later, but in this Deha, they are not able to do the seva. So they aspire, then I will do that seva, which is my seva. Suppose you are in India, in Australia, you have some DT seva, for example, every Sunday. When you go to India after 2 weeks, you start thinking, when will I go back to Radha Gopinath? When will I start serving Radha Gopinath? When will I, see other devotees? You start having this thought in your mind, and that's nice meditation. So this is Lal Samai. Yeah, I've written it. Radha Krishna Paranamara Jugal Kishore. In that bhajan, the line comes Chamar Dhulabo Kabe Heri Mukha Chandra. So when I will be able to do Chamar for you and look at your face. Look at the face of Radha Krishna and do Chamar. You can just meditate on this line. You're looking at Radha and Krishna, you're looking at Radha Gopinath and doing Chamar. So that's a very nice meditation. Devotees, if you are off the camera, sorry, you'll not get the attendance. We have said it many times. And if you are doing multitasking, if you could, unless there's an emergency in the house, just sit and hear Prabhupada books. It's nice. Otherwise, I don't know how we are doing it. There's only 4-5 weeks to go. If you can manage your timing in such a way where we can just sit and hear 2 hours, it's a stable timetable in our calendar. I think that will be nice. And just stop the world for next 2 hours is for our benefit. If you're trying to do so many things together, I'm not sure whether you should be even in the class actually. You can just put yourself off the class, do the other seva nicely. Otherwise, you're neither doing this seva nor doing the other seva. So yeah, strong recommendation. I think the other ones can get out of the class. I think we have said it enough times. So Sundar Gopal Prabhu, if you're the host, you can, anyone off the camera can be out of this class for next 5 or 6 weeks. I've been telling it, but somehow or other, I think message is not going across. If you can just take these devotees out, write a message in the group. This is the reason we have taken you out.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
My camera is on, but in laptop, I'm not able to see. I'm trying
Okay,
to.
no worries.
Yeah.
Who is this Samsung SM6 G99? Okay, Prabhuji.
Hard to find out, Prabhu.
That's okay.
It may be Asha Mataji in past. I'm not
Okay, that's fine.
Could be.
Asha Mati, Jamvati Mataji, they are not the part of this course, so they have this right to switch off the camera. They are not the part of the course, so that's okay for them. So please leave them. Thank you. It just sets up the right mood for everyone. Otherwise, what happens? We are just taking the attendance. We're not reading. This class, I've said from the very beginning, should be for a study. If you just want certificate, go to Ghanshyam Prabhu, and this has been recorded. He said he will print out a certificate for you. So if anyone is interested in just a certificate, you can get your certificate without attending any class or doing any assignment. So don't do this course just for the attendance or any sort of other things, please. Okay. Istava part. So Vigyapti and Istava part. Istava part means we are doing the prayers, we are offering the prayers which someone else have stated, like Gajendra Sutra, for example. So Gajendra's prayers are in the Bhagavatam. We are reading the Gajendra's prayers, although that is not our prayers. So Vigyaptis, our prayers we are offering. So at this stage, for most of us, sadhakas, reciting notable prayers or stuff part is the best way, because we are not in that stage. Unless one of you can do that, that's also very nice. So even you can either offer your own prayers or even read the prayers given in different scriptures. They're very, very powerful. Swado Naivedya, Padma Puran says anyone who takes even the smallest amount of Rajbhog, Maha, whatever you want to call it, with the feeling that Lord has personally taken it, accepted it, Lord's saliva is there in this food particle, that devotee will get so much benefit. So we should not take Mahaprasad as a swad, because we think this puri is very nice, this halwa is very nice, but that karela sabji I don't like. So anything you get, if you have that strong feeling of this is Mahaprasad taken by Lord, cooked by devotees, you are very, very fortunate. So Swadopadhyaya, same thing applies for that. And I think I said last time, even if Lord is resting, for example, when you write temple, you can at least take Charnamrita from the Lord. It's considered as good. Is smelling the incense and flowers offered to the deities. We already done that, so we should have a lot of respect and feel fortunate when we are smelling those flowers, not like juice and activity. Some people just go down. No, just do it nicely. This is very, very fortunate situation to be able to smell the flowers which have been offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Last little note is by, I think, Gurujan Prabhu. If you're going to temple, take something for the Lord. If you cannot take anything, for example, you can pluck some flowers or leaves from the neighborhood. Even if you can't do that, offer your prayers to the Lord. Offer a prayer of Kunti Maharani, Gajendra, Arjuna, Draupadi. So many prayers are there in Bhagavatam. Just render some nice prayers in front of the Lord. That will be very nice, very pleasing to the Lord. Yeah, it's also said not only for the deity, also for the saintly persons. If you're going to meet some saintly person, you should also try to take something, not just your problems, which we usually take, but take something for the saintly person, because by offering him something, we get the purification. Yes, Acharya Prabhuji.
A quick question, Prabhuji, about the smelling the incense and the flower offered to the deities. It's also we read about it's an offense to not to offer the flower which has a fragrance in it.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the time it happens that we do have flowers in our backyard, especially during winter time.
Yes.
I kind of apologize to the deities and still offer it.
Yes.
What's your opinion on that?
So Prabhu, it happens in some temples, and I will not name it, they put some smelling substance on top of those flowers before offering to the Lord. External smelling fragrance, because in the Western country, sometimes it can be very, very hard. So if you have to do something like that, you can do that. Because there are many places here which have the similar issues. So do the best, tell Lord, tell your Guru Maharaj, and then do the offering. That's the point. The point is you should not offer any stale flowers or flowers with some insects or something. Do your best. That's the thing, because Lord is Bhavagrahi Janardhan at the end of the day. These rules and regulations are set forward as a guideline, as a framework. If you can do that, that's best. If you can't, talk to the Lord, and he will inspire you for the best. And if there is a possibility of upgrading the seva, please do that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Prabhu, on this only, I have a
Yes.
small question. Sorry.
Yes, Mataji.
But that flower is also created by Krishna only, no? So then why there is a difference that you can't offer this and you can offer that?
Yeah. Again, the point is, Mataji, you offer the best to the Lord. See, in the Vedic culture, there was no scarcity of flowers. There was flowers everywhere, there were fruits everywhere. So people were just lazy to go a little bit forward to get these things. So the point here is do your best. In India, if you remember, Mataji, it says when a saintly person comes, you should offer him a cloth. This is a part of his reception. There are 16 types of gestures or reception we should do to a saintly person, depending on his ashrama and varna. Anyway, so one of the items is to offer them clothes. Now, nowadays, clothes are very expensive. Not everyone can do it. So they started offering a gamcha, like a small towel, very simple small towel. But then they can't even do that. So they offer a dhaga, a string, you can put in your hand. So the point here is do your best. But if you are crorepati, you're still offering a dhaga. That may not be the best. So again, do your best. But if there's not available, yeah, many things are told, and then they say, okay, again, yeah, do your best. That's the main principle. Touching the deity. So after we have, okay, Priya Mataji, you have another thing to share?
Just about the offering, if we are offering, like, I don't know if you had already mentioned previously, or in terms of the incense sticks, what we have is not actually pure and probably
Yes.
not made of organic matter, as such. So the ones that maybe sometimes they're gifted by devotees or we buy ourselves, we are not may not have the may not have the purity or the not made coming from like it may be like mixed
Not
with
good
some.
quality. Yep, I totally agree.
So if we are offering that, then it is offensive, or we are
See,
not. We should.
if you're not aware of it, then it's fine. But if you're aware of it, then you should not, it says. So again, do your best. Some devotees actually cannot take the smell, so they don't do those offerings. So that's another practical aspect. I heard from a devotee in a class, a very, very great thing about the incense, because Mataji has mentioned, there's a devotee in America. He mentioned this in a class. There was a big company in America. I don't remember the name. I think he mentioned in the class, who was supplying this incense to practically all the temples in America, not only ISKCON, other temples as well. And they were making this incense from the stool of pig, not even cow. So they're processing the stool pig, and they're making them as incense and supplying to all the temples. And before they could find out, it was years actually. Years later, they found out all the incense which were offered for a number of years to all these temples, whoever was buying from the supplier, was such a low quality. What can you do? Like in this case, the temple didn't know about it, but once they came to know, obviously they stopped. Like we heard in Tirupati, some ghee controversy. So they didn't know about it. When they came to know, they stopped. So this is what it is. Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. But yeah,
So what
try.
should we do with the ones that we have been gifted or we are not like just what should we do with
Very
that?
hard to say a conclusive answer. You offer with Shraddha and pray to the Lord. I hope this is a good one,
Okay.
because we can't even analyze every single. Even if you go to Vrindavan and I went to Vrindavan many, many years ago. I'm talking. There was one shopkeeper, and I asked him, even if you charge me extra, give me tulsi mala. And he said, Prabhu, it's pure tulsi. I had a doubt, to be very honest, it's not tulsi, but I just believed that shopkeeper. Anyway, I came back to temple. There's another devotee. He said, this is not tulsi. And I said, but this shopkeeper said, this is definitely tulsi. He said, no, this is not tulsi. They always say like that. I went back to the shopkeeper and I said, Prabhu, you said this is tulsi. It's not tulsi. And you know what he said? He understood that this guy know now. He said, any plant who grows in, they have their own definition in the dictionary. Any plant who grows in Vrindavan, it's tulsi. And it's from a Vrindavan plant. So this is tulsi mala. I'm like, you just can't get the message across. You can't get the message across. So what are you going to do in this situation? So if I wouldn't meet this devotee in the temple, I will still respect that as tulsi. So I think your tulsi respect, Lord will accept it. Because you have done everything what you could do, but if someone else is misrepresenting the information, for example, nothing much you can do. You're not Ishvara, you're only a jiva. So you said, Prabhu, give me Tulsi Mala. And he said, Mataji, this is pure Tulsi. Mataji will take Tulsi and start chanting as if a Tulsi. So Lord will take that into consideration. That's my understanding. Because again, Lord is Bhavagra. You can't go inside and, look at this, why the shopkeeper was lying to you. And he said very boldly next day, any plant he grows in Vrindavan, that's Tulsi. This is Vrindavan. This place is known as Vrindavan. So every plant is Tulsi plant. I'm like, Jai Ho Maharaj. Jai Ho. I said, you just have told me. I'm not asking anything. You just have told this is not Tulsi. If you don't have, tell me, I'll get it tomorrow. I can't get it, whatever. But they just don't speak the truth. Not everyone, I'm saying some of them. Some of them. Anyway, so yeah, Bhavagrahi Janardhan, do your best, and yeah, offer your worship to the Lord. Okay.
Okay.
Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhu, quickly on that note, Radhesham Prabhu once explained in Pune, he was saying that even for Nam Aparad, it is like people say that even somebody laughingly, jokingly chants Hare Krishna is benefited. He said Nam Aparad bhi tabhi lagta hai jab tak, when you know it. It's like now you know the Aparad and you're still doing it, then is when the Nam Aparad works. Same principle he told applies in any of the bhakti, this thing. If you sometimes you keep on offering respects to a devotee who's just have the base of a devotee, is not actually a devotee, but Krishna sees your intentions. So he was saying that even aparad is only when you know it. So otherwise everything is not offense, he was explaining.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Because it's like Namaprad number 7, we read committing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So if you have committed sinful activities in the past, just by chanting one Ram Nam or Krishna Nam, all the reactions will get washed away. But now you are chanting Hare Krishna and you plan, tomorrow I'll do this sinful activities. I'll do this stealing or something like that. And then in the night, I'll chant one extra round. That becomes a Namaprad. That becomes a Namaprad. So thank you, Mataji, for sharing that. At the same time, just one more point I want to add in this. You can't be ignorant of all the things all the time. Ignorance is bliss. So devotees are supposed to know few basic things. I'm talking, not very hi-fi things. That, if you're shouting at a devotee, that's not nice. That's not nice. Even if you're a temple president or whatever, yeah. Even if he has done something wrong, there are ways to correct it or deal with the situation. So yeah. Anyway, complex subject matter. Okay, touching the deity is quite clear. Seeing the deity again, we discussed about it. We should murte ikshanam. And I think we discussed about it. We should not just see the deity, we should allow deities to see us. That's more important. Bhakti Maharaj said, what we will see the deities. Once Maharaj was in the hall, in the temple hall, and he forgot his glasses upstairs and he was looking at the deity. So one disciple went upstairs, got the glasses of Maharaj, and he said, "Oh, Maharaj, you forgot the glasses." Maharaj smiled, but Maharaj smiled. He said, "What would I do with the glasses?" He said, "You can see the deities nicely." And he smiled again. He said, "What I'm going to see with these mundane eyes? What I'm going to see with this mundane eyes? Deities are seeing me." And he gave an example. I'm just repeating that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj example. He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stand. Anyone knows where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stand in Jagannath Puri? Everyone has been at Garuda Stambha. Garuda Stambha is quite far from the altar. He's Mahaprabhu himself. He's God himself. And he's saying, I'm not eligible to go there. So why are you standing in front of, next to Garuda Stambha? Garuda is a pure devotee. When Lord Jagannath Ji will look at the Garuda, he may also look at me. So we should not always try to go forward, so that everyone can look at me. No, you can stay backward and Lord is still looking at you. And sometimes it happens, the person who are at the back, again, there can be different situations why you're at the back or at the front. There's a seva to be performed, you should be at the front. But sometimes next to Prabhupada is a very nice place in that sense. Lord is looking at Prabhupada directly. And when Lord is looking at Prabhupada, he may look at you as well. One disclaimer here I want to give, because if a class is going on and if you're standing next to Prabhupada, class is filled, is it the best place to stand or sit and hear class? I would say no. I would say no. Then you don't have to become humble, because you're getting distractions so much. People are entering from the door, exiting from the door, children are crying, people are tapping on your shoulder, Hare Krishna Prabhu and all that. So when the hearing activity needs to be done, you should go at the very, very front of the speaker. Keshav Maharaj mentioned, and the closer you sit to the speaker, the chances are you will not get distracted by any other distractions, because you look at the speaker, because it will be embarrassing if you're looking here and there in front of speaker. So the chances are, again, because you're looking at the speaker, the grasping of that katha will be the most. So in the class, if you could, possibly go at the very, very front, sit at the feet of the speaker, and says, and you not only listen the katha of the words of the speaker, you also get the eye contact of the speaker. That also works as a purificatory process. So for Katha, for example, you should go at the front as possible so that you can be least distracted and just look at the speaker and hear every single word what this person is saying. And don't worry about anything else that time, because this is the best seva you are doing. And you'll see your absorption will be the most, and then the effect of that absorption will also be the most. So seeing the DT, have the principle in your mind. DTs are seeing me, not that I'm seeing the DT, because their eyes have amrita. And when the deities look at you, it says all the material desires in your heart goes away, because deities are deities. Krishna, when looks at any person, he becomes alive. From mrita, he becomes amrita, because he is giving amrita. So we are all mrit, unless we're performing devotional activity. We are all mrit, we are all dead. But by Krishna's look, we become live. So you go and present yourself in front of Krishna, and when Krishna sees you, he's happy to see you, then it's the best thing. Okay, observing Aarti celebrations of the Lord, it says, yeah, you must attend Aarti as best as possible. And if possible, between Shankha to Shankha, like blowing of the Shankha in the middle or blowing of the Shankha at the end, you should not leave unless you have another seva to be performed. If you could stay between that, after the Shankha is blown, you have to go, you can get out. But yeah, if you could stay between that, otherwise it's considered, may be considered as an offense, because such a big person's king's Aarti is going on, and then you're leaving, giving importance to someone else. Then again, for many sevas, you may have to leave the room. That's fine. Cooking is going on, some sabji is there on the fire. You have to leave and attend the sabji, because their sabji is also for Krishna's seva. Okay, chapter 10, we started it last week. There are only 4 items, a very short chapter. So last week we discussed about Shravanam. Shravanam can be about Nama, Charita, or Guna. Now we should not just put a waterline here. Nam generally refers to priorities of Ram Nam, Krishna Nam, Hari Nam. Charita refers to Charitra or pastimes of Krishna, and Gun Adi refers to the qualities of Krishna. So there can be different types of Shravan. They can also get intermingled. Now, Prabhupada gave 3 examples. I'll just quickly repeat. So, Garud Puran example, Prabhupada gave from Nam Shravan. What does Nam Shravan do? Prabhupada writes, when a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious, then remains in comatose state. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self. So, what we should do? We should chant Ram Nam in his ear. By chanting the Hari Nam, Ram Nam, Krishna Nam, this person will get awake. Jiva Jago, Gora Chandra Bole. So by Ram Nam or Hari Nam, that Jiva can get awakened, the soul consciousness can get awakened. So this is the example of Nama Shravan. 429:40, this example of Charita Shravan. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusion of material existence. So, very, very powerful hearing of Lord's pastime. And last one is Gunadi Shravan, 12:3:15. Person who desires unalloyed devotion service to Lord Krishna should always hear about his glorification and transcendental quality. This will surely kill all kinds of inauspiciousness in the heart. Then we read the last aspect last week, Tat Kripekshanam, so Kripa ki iksha. So you desire that Lord will be merciful unto me. So this is a famous verse, Tatte nukampasus mikshmana bhunjana evat pratam vipakam hirdavag vapurbhir vididham namaste jive yo mukti pade sadai bhag. So basically Brahmaji is praying for the mercy of the Lord, and whatever comes, suffering, mostly whatever suffering comes on the way, you try to tolerate it. It does not mean you does not respond to the misery. You have to externally deal with the misery. That's absolutely fine, but internally you don't get impacted. You said, okay, by my own karma, by my Lord's desire, this has been arranged specifically for my purification. My dear Lord, I accept it. Example, Parikshit Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, when the greatest misery came, they did not contract. Many times when misery comes on us, we don't have power to contract. If we had the power, we'll immediately execute the power and counteract the misery. Mostly we don't have, and we get frustrated and we try to tolerate. But in case of Parikshit Maharaj, he had the power to mitigate. He did not. Rather, he went on marg of tolerance. Now, sometimes you have to mitigate, you have to attack back the person or the situation you attended, but that's all external. Prabhupada also dealt with all those sort of different issues, but internally, Prabhupada was completely satisfied, cool, and calm. Krishna is arranging all these situations. So if you do that, what happens? Mukti pade sadaipa, that jiva becomes eligible to enter into Golok Vrindavan. So, and while you are suffering, one more important point, namaste, you do namaskar to Bhagavan, pranam to Bhagavan. This pranam is very, very powerful. So you do pranam, you tolerate internally at least, and carry on with your service. It says, the result of the service is, what is the result of seva? Anyone? We are all doing some seva in the temple or at home to our deities or our family. What's the result of seva?
Lord's mercy.
Lord's mercy. Okay. That's correct, Mataji. Something else
Love.
should be added.
Love for
Krishna
Krishna.
Prema.
Prema.
Okay.
Krishna Prema.
More.
There's purification in the heart.
Yes, that's definitely there. Result of seva. One time Prabhupada said, and different answers can be given for this. Result of seva is more seva.
More seva. Yeah.
Result of seva. Why are you doing seva? To do more seva. You're not doing seva to get something other than seva, isn't it? I want name, I want fame, I want material comfort. You're doing seva so that I can get material comfort. People do, right? They offer, 51,000 rupees so that my boy can get a job, my girl can get married, my health will be improved, like that. And again, they are also valid in their own way. But the highest thing is you do seva to get more seva, because this is the best thing a devotee can ask for. Now, if while doing the seva, the result of the seva is discomfort in the material realm, is that all right? Most of you can unmute if possible. By doing seva, you got material discomfort. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. By doing seva, you're getting bad name. Is that okay? Yes.
Yes.
By doing seva, you can get health problem. Yes. Anything, but my seva should not go. So if a devotee is attached to the seva, but not the comfort which may come out of the seva, he will be the best devotee. He is a sustainable devotee. Many times we look forward, Prabhu, मैं 20 साल से सेवा कर रहा हूँ, you're treating me like that. That's all right. Gauranga Prabhu says, in humor, he says, if you want to sustain in ISKCON, you should have two habits. गाली खाने की और गुस्सा पीने की आदत होनी चाहिए. Gali khana means you should be able to tolerate all the abuses, Vijay Gopi Mataji. And gussa pina, you should be able to drink your anger. It's very difficult. I'm also talking, struggling. But this is fact. So after doing seva, someone will abuse you, someone will misunderstand you, criticize you. But that's okay. Keshav Maharaj actually encouraged this situation. He said, if you're getting some bad name, that means you're doing something. Now, you should not target the bad name. The point is, if you're getting some criticism, even you're doing your seva sincerely, it's okay, because you never did the seva for name and fame. You did seva for seva. Devotee is completely selfless. So if you're getting other than seva, you should be able to tolerate. That's fine. Example is given actually in Ramayana of Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj is one of the most dear servant of Lord Ram. But while he performing his seva, Ayodhya-vasis are throwing stones at Bharat Maharaj. He could not go and take bath at 4 o'clock in Saryu River. He will go and take bath at 1:30, 2 a.m. This is talking Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj. He's an expansion of Vishnu Tattva actually. Pure devotee of Lord Ram. People are throwing stones at him that you are the one who have sent Lord Ram to the forest for 14 years. You are the culprit. Bharat could not say a word. Dashrath Maharaj told Sumantra, if Bharat comes, he is not allowed to touch my body. Do not let Bharat give me the Agni. Now, Bharat was not even given that right, because his own father, whom he loved a lot, misunderstood him. But he continued the seva. So the point here is, no matter what happens, we should never quit our seva. Whatever little seva Vaishnavas have given us, even if some criticism comes, some misunderstanding comes, it doesn't matter, because we were not doing the seva for name and fame. We don't get name and fame, or we get the other way, it's fine. If our Vaishnavas have trust in you, our seniors, our Guru, our Srila Prabhupada have trust in you, and they say, you please continue the seva, that is the biggest asset you have got. Rest is all secondary. Sridhar Maharaj said in a very bold way, if I perform a seva and Krishna likes it and the whole world spits at me, I don't care. And if I perform a seva, a whole world garlands me, glorifies me, but the Krishna doesn't like it, I don't want that glorification. So if whole world spits at you, but Krishna loves it, your Guru loves you, you are the successful disciple, successful devotee. So we should look success in that perspective, not from other perspective, because any other perspective will not be aligned, will not be aligned. So if we are doing seva from that purpose in our mind, then we'll never be disturbed while doing the seva, because we get disturbed. We get disturbed. So if you want no disturbance from the seva, you should have very clear goal of the seva, then whatever comes, it's absolutely fine. This is what Brahmaji is saying. Just read one red line. When such impediments arise, he should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. So when impediments, even Brahmaji is facing impediment. Who are we? So while the impediments comes, he just internally pray to Krishna. Krishna, please give me strength how to deal with this properly. And Krishna will guide you if your prayers are sincere. Just add one more pastime which comes to my mind. One time a sadhu was walking in a jungle, he was chanting Ram, 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 Ram. He was chanting nicely, going in a jungle. One dog came, a jungle dog, very big, fierce dog came in front of him, started barking, started bouncing towards the sadhu. The sadhu saying, Ram, please protect me. While he's praying, the dog is coming closer and closer, and he's getting a bit scared. And now he's getting scared. Lord Ram hasn't come yet. So what he did, in this moment, what's happening in Saket Dham upstairs, Sita and Ram looking at this person, and Ram said, Sita, I have to go. Sita, I have to go. And Lord is about to go. Sita said, yeah, please go, please go. Lord gets up from his Singhasan. And then Sita sees, Lord gets up in the Singhasan, walks 2 steps and comes back. And Sita said, why did you come back? You didn't go to protect your devotee? He said, first I was going to protect him. I was going to protect my devotee, but then I saw, as soon as I took 2 steps, I saw, initially I saw dog is going to, attack my devotee, but then I saw 2 dogs are fighting. Because this devotee, what he did, he took his stick, he took a brick or a stick and started throwing towards the dog. So that means he started protecting himself that moment. So Lord says, initially I thought one human and dog is fighting, one devotee and dog is fighting, but then I saw 2 dogs are fighting, so I didn't need to go. He will take care of himself. So basically he lost trust in a Lord one stage, and then Lord did not help. In case of Draupadi, what Draupadi did? Full surrender to the Lord. And in that situation, Lord came and helped. So initially, Draupadi was saying, Krishna, please protect. Krishna, please protect. Krishna, please protect. Lord did not protect, actually. Lord was just waiting for full surrender. Full surrender. Now, we may not be in those situations, but we can appreciate these examples. Sometimes looks like Lord Jagannath is not looking at us, and we look at Jagannathji. Jagannathji, are you really there? Are you really looking at me? So much is happening, Jagannath. So much is happening. You're not responding at all. We lose faith. But have faith. Jagannath ji is looking. He's not gone to the hospital. Jagannath ji is not sick. Even when he is sick, during Snan Yatra, he's still not sick for a devotee. He's always 24/7 available for the devotee. And that's why by reading this Shastra, our faith increases in Shastra, in Lord, in devotees, in our seva. And that's how we go forward in devotion life. So these prayers are very important. Now, Smritir, this is where we're starting today's discussion. So this is 45th item out of 64. Smriti, a simple meaning of Smriti, remembrance is remembering the Lord. So as Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So if we do Shravan of Krishna, which we did in this slide, Shravanam, Kirtanam of Krishna, then Smaran will be of Vishnu. If you do Shravan and Kirtan of a cricket match, for example, you will be Smaran, you will be remembering all the cricket match and the scores and the ball and the bat and all those things. So if you do Vishnu Smaranam, Vishnu Kirtan and Vishnu Shravan, you will definitely do Vishnu remembrance. So this remembrance is of a general nature where you are forcing your mind or consciously cultivating the habit of remembering the Lord. You can do that by putting many photos in your house, in your altar, in your desk, work desk, or you can do different ways. You can constantly listen kirtan. Some devotee houses, you go in the Prabhupada, kirtan is constantly going on, and all those things. So this is the remembrance of the Lord. And the more you remember the Lord, the more you become transcendental to the material world. Even while doing your duties in the world, you still remember to the Lord. Anyone remembers a famous verse in Bhagavad Gita? A key verse. 8.7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmar yuddhacha. So you remember me all the time and perform your activities. In this case, for Arjuna, it is yuddha. For us, is other yuddhas. But keep remembering Krishna. What's the result of remembering Krishna? Vishnu Puran says, simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kinds of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn and eternal. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a famous verse where it says, by remembering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the most difficult things becomes very easy. But if you don't remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the simplest things becomes very, very difficult. So the point is, please remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. God Nitai. Padma Puran, let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, because if someone remembers him, either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes freed from all sinful reaction. We read this sloka in 8.5 and 8.6 as well, where Krishna says, if you remember me at the time of death, you will come back to me. So remembrance should be consciously cultivated throughout our life, so that when the death comes, it says the pain is, some scripture says, 10,000 scorpions biting together. All of a sudden, 10,000 scorpions. I went to some program and some kids were bitten by some bees, little bees. It's very painful, very, very painful. Just by looking at the kid, you will feel the pain. But the little bees. Imagine a scorpion bite and 10,000 scorpions biting you together. How much pain you will have? Some scriptures say actually 40,000 scorpions bite. That is the pain a jiva experiences at the time of death. And then you have to remember the Lord. Very, very difficult. So you have to remember, cultivate the habit of remembering the Lord throughout the life, and then you may be able to remember the Lord at the end minute. But at the same time, in Varaha Puran, Varahadev tells to Prithvi Devi, Bhudevi, that if my devotee is very sincere, if he have remembered me throughout his life, and at the end of his life, if he cannot remember me, then I make arrangements. I make arrangements for him so that he can remember. Suppose you're in coma, you're in very difficult bodily situation, then he will send devotees so that these devotees will remind you of the Lord, because Lord knows you're helpless, body-wise you're helpless. The Lord will make arrangements. So a devotee should not worry about those. But yeah, the point is cultivate this habit of remembering the Lord as much as possible. Yes, Ujjwala Samataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, once I had heard this, that when we hear about the scorpions biting, is it the physical pain? But that speaker was saying that it's not necessarily the physical pain, but it's the attachment that we have with the material world and the things that belong, like I, mine, everything. So when the jiva is about to leave all that, he goes through that intense separation and pain of leaving all that behind. And because of that, the pain that he feels, that's what is described as
Yes.
Scorpions biting.
Yes. Well, both can be true. One of them can be true. The point here is it's not a fun experience. Someone said ना, जिंदगी को ज्यादा सीरियस लेने की जरूरत नहीं, यहाँ से जिंदा बच के कोई नहीं जाता. And when you leave the things, it's very painful. I remember one pastime which I heard in a class. One old man was leaving his body in last day. He had a shop close by to his house, and all his three boys were working the shop. So when the servant of the house informed these boys that your father is in very bad situation, he can leave the body anytime. So all the boys ran from the shop to see the father. And the father looked at it. He wanted to say something, and someone thought, he was going to tell some khajana, some treasure or something in his last minute. So they were very excited. Pidaji, please tell, what are you going to say? And last sentence he could speak is, गधो तुम तीनों यहाँ हो, दुकान को कौन देखेगा? You foolish people, you're all here on my deathbed. Who's going to look after the shop? Someone will come and steal from the shop. So this is what Ujjwala Samataji are saying, huh? Attachments. Huh? So they came to see father, but father is still thinking about the shop. Anyway, it has to be cultivated. Practice makes a man perfect. Abhyasentu kontaya vairagyan chagrahiyate. Ashanshami Mahabaho Mano Dunigraham Chalam Abhyasentu. It's possible by Abhyas and Vairagya. Okay, number 46 is Dhyanam. Dhyanam is deeper contemplation. So it's a deeper form of remembrance. So remembrance, I said, is a general way you're remembering the Lord, but contemplating deeply on the Lord and a particular aspect of the Lord is called Dhyan. So it's much higher, much concentrated form of remembrance. So initially, that's why the remembrance has come first. So you start cultivating the habit of remembrance, then you'll be able to do Dhyan. Now, there can be 4 types of Dhyan. Let's look at very careful. This is a very nice topic. There can be a whole class on this one. We don't have much time, but Rupa Goswami has written so nicely. So first can be Rupa Dhyan. Rupa Dhyan means you remember the beauty of the Lord. Now, some of the devotees I know on this call as well, they really like to see Gopinath. Just by seeing Gopinath, their heart becomes very satisfied. It's such a nice meditation. Huh? They will remember all the dress, the jewelry, the peacock feather, the turban, the basri, everything of the Lord. Huh? And they keep thinking about that Lord's feature. This is a very nice. So this is called Rupa Dhyan. In Shastra, anyone can remember one example that devotee was doing Rupa Dhyan. And there can be many examples. Just give me one. Who was doing Rupa Dhyan?
Goswamis, when they are meditating in Vrindavan, they are thinking about decorating the
Okay. Yes, Mohit Prabhu, but there can be more specific. So Goswamis are thinking about many things.
Ambrish Maharaj?
Amrish Maharaj. Okay, more.
Gopis.
Gopis. Thank you. Gopis were doing Rupa Dhyan. Huh? Rupa Dhyan. They will just look at the Lord and they will just lost their whole world just by looking at the Lord. Famous example from Gopala Champu, Chandravali and the group Gopis came to Radharani and they're sort of making sarcastic comment in a transcendental way. Today, I could look at whole Krishna. Oh, I was so fortunate. Krishna was standing there under the tree and he was standing there for 5 minutes and I could see whole Krishna. This is so amazing. Radharani was completely like silent. So, you didn't see anything? What did you see? Why are you so silent? And Radharani says, whole Krishna? Whole Krishna? I could not even take the eye from the tip of the fingernail of Krishna. How can I see whole Krishna? How can I see whole Krishna? So this is Srimati Radharani. Another example comes, every gopi was sharing that last night Krishna came in my dream and he said this and we did this and blah, blah, blah. And Radharani was completely silent. He said, and why are you silent? You didn't have any dream of Krishna? Dream of Krishna? Dream of Krishna? I couldn't even go to sleep while thinking about Krishna. So she could not even sleep because she was thinking so deeply about Krishna, and then what to speak of dream. So this is how the gopis are. Again, many devotees are doing Rupa Dhyan, but there are some specific there. So Goswamis are also correct in that sense. Rupa Dhyan, meditation on Krishna's form. Now this is pretty high actually, pretty high. It says when we go to temple, we're supposed to look at the whole form of the Lord so that we can take at least some memory of that Rupa and take home. Can be Guna Dhyan. Now, Ambrish Maharaj, someone said earlier, so Ambrish Maharaj was more on Guna Dhyan, you can say. Huh? Now, gopis are also doing Guna Dhyan. So it's not like only one will do one. No, multiple devotees will do multiple. This is like a priority, I'm saying. So Guna Dhyan can also be done by Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya is doing Guna Dhyan. My Lalla is so naughty. Huh? This gopi is saying that gopa is saying that. So whole time the gopis or Yashoda Maya or elderly, they are doing Guna Dhyan of Krishna actually. Huh? And again, many other devotees can also do Guna Dhyan. Krida Dhyan, gopis in Gopi Geet, they are doing this pastimes of Krishna. When Krishna has left them, gopis are thinking about Krishna and they are performing the pastime of Krishna. Huh? So we see gopis particularly doing Krida Dhyan and Rupa Dhyan. Seva Dhyan. Now, Seva Dhyan is very important. Any examples anyone can give who can do Seva Dhyan? Or who has been doing Seva Dhyan?
Hanuman.
Anji.
Hanumanji doing? Yes, that's right.
Even gopis are also seva dhyan, no? Gopi.
Gopis are not doing seva for the sake of seva. They are just spontaneously doing that. Like we think, okay, we'll cook for the Lord, for example. That's our seva, for example. And maybe out of duty, we do those activities, and which is fine. But gopis are more spontaneous. They're just there. You don't have to think. Seva, then you're thinking about seva. Seva dhyan is primarily for sadhakas like us. We cannot do rupa
Shabri.
dhyan. Shabri was constantly thinking about the
Shabri.
Lord himself, not more about the seva. So it's
Prabhu, there was a
sadhakas.
devotee. There was a devotee.
Sadhakas. Yes, Mata?
Sorry, there was a devotee trying to cook
Yes, we're coming to that.
sweet
Yes,
rice.
Mataji. Yes. So we'll talk about this devotee just in a minute. But the point here is sadhakas who are doing sadhan. They are not siddhas as yet. They cannot do much of a rupa dhyan. They can do some much of a guna dhyan, much of a krida dhyan. So they do seva dhyan. Seva dhyan means whatever seva have been allocated to you by your senior Vaishnavas, by your Guru Maharaj. If you meditate on that seva, how I'm going to perform that seva very nicely, then that also becomes dhyan. And we see many devotees, they're making some cooking for the Lord, some garland for the Lord. They're completely absorbed in that seva. They forget khana, pina, neend, everything. They're there for the Lord. They'll get up 3 o'clock in the morning. They'll go till 9 p.m. in the night doing seva. That can be a big meditation. Some Vaishnavas coming in your house and you're thinking, what seva I can do? What seva I can do? That's a very good dhyan. Because our capacity to do first 3 dhyans are not so much. It's limited at this stage of our devotional life. So we should do seva dhyan. And this example comes in Puran, which Vijay Gopi Mataji is mentioning. This is a Brahman in Prahastanpur, it says. He was not very rich Brahman, he was quite poor, and he heard in a class that you can also serve the Lord in dhyan. And he said, oh, that's very nice. I don't have money, but I can serve the Lord in my dhyan. So what he started doing in his dhyan, he will sit under a tree in his dhyan, he will buy vegetables, he will clean vegetables, he will cut vegetables, he will cook for the Lord, and he will cook the whole meal, he will offer very nicely. He's doing this dhyan for years and years and years. One day, when he cooked the sweet rice, and when he was offering into a bowl for Supreme Lord Narayan Krishna, he thought after pouring into the bowl, the kheer may be a little hot. So let me test the temperature of the kheer. He's completely into the seva and he's putting his finger in the dhyan into the bowl, which is full of sweet rice, which is very hot. And his dhyan broke. Why? The kheer was so hot. The kheer was so hot. Just imagine, he's in a subtle body, remembering all this, he's doing dhyan, all this, but his physical body getting damaged because his dhyan was so deep. By looking at it, Narayan in Vaikuntha started smiling. Lakshmi Devi, why are you smiling, my lord? And he said, look at this Brahman. He is in his dhyan offering me a nice bhoga. And in the bhoga, when he checked the temperature of the kheer was very hot. And his finger is burned. So he started smiling. Same time, he sent a Viman from Vaikuntha. You can see in the picture. There's a little picture here. This Vaikuntha Viman came. Lord Narayan's associates came and took this Brahman because he's eligible now. He's completely into dhyan. He's not thinking about, we are cooking and we are thinking about another 5 things. We are even hearing the class and trying to do other things. And that's how our seva gets interrupted. So any seva done with absorption will lead to attachment. We've discussed about it. So absorption is, so first is attention, second is absorption, third is attachment. So if you're not attending that seva properly, you'll never be absorbed. And if you never be absorbed, you'll never get attached to that seva. So that's why attention in any seva, including hearing seva, is very important. Otherwise, multitasking, for again speaking, not just for hearing, for any seva, will not lead to the desired result. We may tick off the box. Yes, I have done the seva. Yes. But did you get the desired result, which is the attachment to Krishna? Maya asakt mana parthi yungam yunjan madashraya. What is the goal? Krishna is giving 7 point. Maya asakt mana madhyaji mam namaskuru. Manmana bhavad madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. 1865, 934. 7.1. All Krishna is saying, Maya asakt mana. Apne man ko mujh mein asakt karo. Get your mind attached with me. How are we going to attach that goal if we attending, doing the sevas without any attention? So try if you can put as much attention as possible in every seva, and then seva will be successful very soon. Okay, chapter 11, aspects of transcendental service. So in this chapter, we're going to read, I think, around 7 aspects. Let's start quickly. So we're just continuing. So 24, 25, 26, and 27, which is Dasyam. Now, Dasya we have all heard. Now, this is not the Dasya Rasa which we are talking. Dasya Rasa will come after Prema. So once the Prema has arisen in the heart of a devotee, that Dasya Rasa will come. This Dasya we're talking, Dasya Sadhana Bhakti. So please be very clear on that. This is under Sadhana Bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti, which we are reading right now. So this is a Dasya Sadhana Bhakti, just to give a context. Now, what does Dasya mean? Again, acting as a servant of the Lord. Now, we're not talking about Hanumanji here, best servant, like that. But anyone who acts as a servant to the Lord is in Dasya Sadhana Bhakti. It can be of 2 types. One can be Karma Arpanam or Kainkaryam. So Karma Arpanam, so many devotees work outside, they give a part of their income to Krishna. That's Karma Arpanam. That's very nice. So that's in Dasya Bhavana. So my $100 will be used in Gopinath Seva. They do that. That's very good. But one is called Kainkaryam. Kainkara means, Kinkar means servant. So Kinkara. Kim kara, मैं क्या करूं? Kim means what, kara means करूं. What can I do? If you have that feeling, you're called kinkara. It says our ahankar should be converted to kinkar. Ahankar means आप मेरे लिए क्या करेंगे? What are you going to do for me? That is ahankar. Me, aham. Kar, what you are going to do for me? Kim kar, what can I do for you? And that can be Lord or Lord's devotee. So we should have ahankar or kinkar? Ahankar. 1 or 2?
Kinkar.
Kinkar. What we have at the moment? Lot of ahankar. At least I can talking about me. You all have kinkar. I have lot of ahankar. So the devotional process is to convert ahankar to kinkar. Kinkar means I am a servant of Lord, a das of Lord. Now in English we call servant, and in Sanskrit we call it das. Anyone knows the difference? There's a huge difference. Like English, that's why sometimes very poor language. We just don't have the exact translations. Servant means I'm an employee.
Yeah,
I'm a servant means I'm an employee. Like you pay me $100, I do a job for you. I'm your servant, right? Your servant in India, cook servant or maid servant come and then you pay her, I don't know, $100 a month. She does cooking for you. That's right. But a das, what does das means? Das cannot demand for salary. Das, literally. The word das means he will do anything and everything what the master says. He cannot demand, he cannot express his desires. So there's a huge difference between the word das and servant. So when you translate these words, it's just our language is very limited. So you have to try to sometimes go back to Sanskrit to get the actual sense of the word. So we are talking dasya here. Dasya. You look the word dasyan is there. But in English, again, limitation, we are saying servant. So dasya bhav. Dasya means I am your das. Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita purport, I can't remember the 4th chapter or 3rd chapter around the purport. He says, as an animal has no freedom, the master may give animal water or food. Master may not give. Animal does not demand. Animal does not demand. So we are like those animals. It says, O Vaishnav Thakur, Ami Tumar Kukur. Kukur means kutta, dog. We are at the moment dog of Maya. We want to become dog of a Vaishnava, of our Guru Maharaj, of our senior devotees, of Krishna. So here we have to understand this word dasya nicely. So if you're doing karmarpanam, karma ka arpan, this is very nice, but that can be performed as a duty. It's still beneficial, no doubt about it. You're giving something to Krishna, you cannot lose. A giver to Krishna cannot be the loser, cannot be the loser. No matter what you give to Krishna. Even Putana gave wish to Krishna. She got the best. So what to speak of if you offer with love and devotion, Chappan Pakwan, at least on, Janmashtami or something like that. You cannot be a person cannot be the loser if he is giving to Krishna. You put $1,000 in hundi, you should not think twice. Again, you can be practical in certain situations, but the point is, if you're giving to Lord will give you so much back. And we should not have feeling, okay, तुम एक पैसा दोगे वो 10 lakh देगा. Not that calculative. The point is, what can I give to Lord? But my dear Lord, I have this 50 cents in my pocket. please accept it. And Lord will consider that as $50 million. A person will have, $50 trillion offering $50,000. Lord doesn't like that. He says, Lord does not see what you're offering. Lord sees what you're holding back. So that's the point. It's not the numbers here. How much heart you're offering to the Lord. So Kainkaryam refers to the serving in the mood of a personal attendant to the Lord. Anything, Lord, you ask, I'm here to serve you. When Guru Maharaj comes, one devotee is always near the door of Sannyas ashram. He is there for one purpose. Prabhupada, when was there, he would have a bell and he will ring the bell. One time, Shrudikir Prabhu was telling Prabhupada, rang the bell at 2 a.m., 1:30 a.m. in the night. Shrudikir Prabhu was very new in serving Prabhupada, very new. He only joined a few days before. He himself does this pastime. So he was sleeping and half asleep. He went inside the room, paid his obeisance to Prabhupada. He said, so Prabhupada, what can I do for you? And Prabhupada said, I was just checking how fast you are. Prabhupada sometimes joked. Prabhupada once, in the middle of the night, this devotee in the Vrindavan temple, and there's a Guru Kripa Maharaj who was also there, and he was doing a lot of hard work, collecting a lot of donation for the temple build. One time in the middle of the night, around 1:30, he rang the bell. Servant came. Servant said, "Okay, what can I do, Prabhupada?" Prabhupada said, "Can you call Guru Kripa?" Servant went to the room of Guru Kripa Maharaj, and he was a Swami, and he said, "Prabhupada is calling you." And he is fully tired of the whole day work. He gets up somehow and he went to the room of Prabhupada. He paid his pranam to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, what can I do for you? Prabhupada said, what you were doing? 1:30 in the night. What I will do? I was sleeping. Why are you sleeping? Prabhupada, I am not sleeping. Prabhupada, I was tired. Do you think I'm not tired? Prabhupada, I worked pretty hard during the day. Do you think I'm not working hard whole day? I'm also working very hard, but I'm translating. I'm not sleeping. And Guru Maharaj, whatever argument he will give, Prabhupada will just counteract it. And finally, he said, Prabhupada, okay, let me know what can I do for you. And Prabhupada said, go back and sleep. So Prabhupada knew what to do, when to do, which devotee wanted what. So Prabhupada, many pastimes coming on the night of Prabhupada. Anyway, let's come back to Nectar of Devotion here. So we should have this Kainkaryam bhav, not a duty bhav, not a duty emotion for Krishna. Yes, I will do some duty for Krishna and I'll come back home. No, we should have Kainkarya. Same seva. So seva is not changed. Seva is not changed, but the bhav should be more towards, I am a property of Lord. Lord can use me the way he likes. So I'm not doing a duty for the Lord. So initially, okay, our seva can become duty, sometimes it can become burden as well. But the point is, we change your emotions, and for practical reasons, you may have to say no sometime. But your point, your emotion inside should always be, I'm the property of my Lord. I'm a kinkar of my Lord. So my Lord want me to use like that. My Guru Maharaj as well as Keshav Maharaj actually mentions this point. Very nice point. He said, whenever a devotee asks for any seva, this is Keshav Maharaj speaking very clearly. Whenever a devotee asks for any seva, you should never say no. You should always have this feeling of doing it. Then he says, now for practical reasons, you may not be able to do every seva, which is fine. Our time is limited, bodily capacities are limited, and we have other responsibilities. But he said the bhav should be, yes, this devotee is asking, I want to do it. The bhav. And then secondly, you can say to this devotee, Prabhuji, I would love to do this seva, but I have to go and perform the other seva. But what we do immediately as soon as the seva, nahi mila kya? You got only me? Why can't you tell to this devotee, that devotee, that devotee? I'm always burnt out. Our immediate response is no. So that response has to change. Our response has to change. The practical activity can be exactly same. You only have 2 hours, for example, for that seva. So yes, you can only spend 2 hours. But our practical response, our emotional response, should become from no to yes. Yes, this is Lord's arrangement. I want to do it. I want to help this person. I want to help in this seva, not a no. Okay, BRS, I'll just read very quickly. This is BRS 1-187. Very nice, famous verse. Prabhupada quoted this many, many times. Iha yasya hare dase karmana manasa gira nikhilasva api avasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. One who engages in the transcendental service of the Lord with body, mind, and words is to be considered liberated in all conditions of material existence. So basically, the point is, if you do seva with this bhav, you will be a jivan mukta. You don't have to die and leave the body and go somewhere. While you're in the body, you're jivan mukta because you're doing karmana manasa gira. Gira means by vani, vacha, by speech. So if you do that, jivan mukta sa uchyate. So that's a beautiful shloka. Naradiya Puran says a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words, or even a person who is not practically engaged but is simply desiring to do so, is considered to be liberated. I think I mentioned it last week or one of the weeks. Even if you desire to go to temple, you get auspicious benefits, spiritual benefits. Just desire. I will go to Radha Gopinath temple and I'll mop the floor. I will help in the kitchen. I will clean the floor of the Lord, whatever. Just by desiring that, you get benefit. Imagine if you practically go and help those devotees in those seva. So try something. Take commitment for Krishna. It's very beautiful. Sakhyam. Next one is Sakhyam, thinking of the Lord as a friend. Devotional service and friendship. Now, it's the two categories again. One is Vishwas. Vishwas means, again, two parts. There's strong faith or confidence in the Lord as one's benefactor. Example, Draupadi. Now, before we go to Draupadi's example is given here, but does not mean she's in sadhana bhakti. She's a prema bhakta. But some examples from the Shastra is given just to make the point clear. Draupadi is not a sadhak, she is a siddha. Now, in the spiritual world, you probably know about it. Draupadi is a sakha of Krishna. She's a friend in the male body, actually. She's a sakha of Krishna. And the same mood she has when she comes to the material world, although she is in a female body. So the example says, my dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanquished. I believe in that statement, and therefore, in all kinds of tribulations, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live. If tribulations come in your life, it says Vasishtha Muni, who was the guru of Draupadi, when Draupadi got married, Vasishtha Muni was there. Vasishtha Muni, in India at least, parents give some nice tips to the girl while she's leaving. So Vasishtha Muni as a father gave this tip to Draupadi. Vasishtha Muni said to Draupadi, my dear daughter, if in the life any times any big tribulation come and you find no one is going to help you, remember Govinda. So this is the instruction given by Vasishtha Muni to Draupadi, and Draupadi remembered the instruction of her Guru Maharaj at the time when she needed Govinda the most. And then she let the hands go. My Guru Maharaj said, remember Govinda, Govinda will help. And this is the statement you can see. I believe in that statement. The problem with us is we don't believe. We appreciate it, we don't believe it. If we believe in those statements, there will be no tribulations in our life because there cannot be any. There cannot be any. Even those so-called tribulations you will see as beauty. I guess Prahlad was asked once, Prahlad, when we were put in Agni, in fire, were you not scared? Prahlad says, scared of Agni? Why? Agni is a mouth of my Lord. Vishnu's mouth is Agni. When we put a banana or a fruit in Agni or some grains in Agni, it's considered Vishnu's mouth. That's how we perform the yajna, right? He said, I was sitting in the mouth of my father. Why will I be scared? Prahlad, when we are thrown in the room full of snakes, were you not scared? Scared of snakes? My father, Vishnu, sleeps on the biggest snake. And all the snakes, these little snakes, are the expansions of my father's Anantashesh. My father is fully comfortable in sleeping on a snake bed. Why will I be scared of these small snakes? So Prahlad was never, what to speak of his scaredness, he was fully comfortable in those situations because Prahlad thought, I am fully comfortable. Prahlad, were you not scared when you were given the wish, the poison? Scared of poison? Why? My mother, Lakshmi Devi, is born of ocean. And ocean is the father of Visha as well. Isn't it? Vish came first and Lakshmi Devi came later. So Vish and Lakshmi Devi became brother and sister. So when I'm with my Mamaji, will I be scared? So when Prahlad was given Visha, he was not scared. When Prahlad was in Agni, he was not scared. And one thing is to not be scared of. One thing is to be comfortable. Even you go in mother's lap, you are fully comfortable. You feel protected. So a devotee who has Vishwas in the Lord, he's not scared. He's fully comfortable in every single situation of his life. And he says, this particular situation is personally arranged by my dear Lord for my purifications. I love it. I love it. कहते हैं लड्डू भी लॉर्ड से आ रहा है और थप्पड़ भी लॉर्ड से आ रहा है. So nice laddu coming from Lord, and a nice slap is also coming from Lord. So many times we consider laddu as Lord is okay. Slap? No, 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 no. We don't want any slaps. No, slap is also coming from the Lord, personally arranged by Lord. Sitting in the heart of Duryodhan is telling Duryodhan, disrobe this woman. Lord is there in the heart of Duryodhan as well. So Lord is arranging. Again, it's a very high state. So dasyam. Second one, in the Vishwas, acting as Lord's well-wisher. Example, preacher of Krishna consciousness. Now, what can we do for Krishna? But Prabhupada said that when you go in front of the deities, you should feel deities are asking you, what are you doing for me? So many times when we go in front of Gopinath, we say, Gopinath, I have this desire. Can you please fulfill? We give the order. But here you should feel, a devotee feels, Gopinath is saying, what are you doing for me? And the servant of Gopinath, say in this case a preacher or in any other seva, becomes the well-wisher. Yashoda Maya thinks, if I don't feed Krishna, my son will die. My son is eating mitti, he doesn't have any intelligence. I have to protect my son, otherwise he will die, he will get sick, you have to take him to hospital in Mathura. I am the protector of my son. So this Vishwas is there. I am the well-wisher of the Lord. I have to spread Krishna consciousness. I have to go out and take risk and please my spiritual master. That Vishwas, if you're doing that, like in that direction, is amazing. Second one is Mitra. So one is Vishwas in the Lord, as Draupadi and a preacher's example. Second comes Mitra. Now, at very, very advanced stage, when Lord is served in the mood of fraternity. So the example is given of Gopas. Sorry, just go back. Our Acharya says, we don't even touch any book with our feet, right? What to speak of touching Bhagavad Gita? Any devotee will not do that. And even when you're sitting, you'll not put Gita on your lap directly. You'll put a cushion or something. What to speak of touching deities with your feet? Your home deities, for example. What to speak of touching the temple deities with your feet? No one will ever imagine that. What to speak of touching actual Krishna from your feet? But Gopas did that. When in the game Krishna gets defeated, Krishna had to carry the Gopas from that point to the river, isn't it? And the Gopas will sit on the shoulder of Krishna and say, Chalo, chalo, jaldi chalo. And when Krishna will not walk, they will kick Krishna from his leg. They will kick Krishna from his leg. Arjuna is said while sitting on the chariot, he's kicking Krishna with his feet, telling Krishna, go right, left, stop. All those gestures were made because that's the only thing which he can do. So these mitras of Krishna, these sakhas of Krishna, they are highly advanced and they deal with Krishna in a very specific way, which is beyond our imagination. But this is how they have the relationship with Krishna. Okay, next one is Atmanivedan. We all understand this picture is of Bali Maharaj offering everything you possess to the Lord, including your body, right? Now I will jump to 52nd item because they're very interrelated, and we'll come to 50 and 51 in a minute later. So this is 49, Atmanivedan, offering oneself to the Lord. Example, Bali Maharaj. Now 52, this is beautiful. All of us should look at it carefully. Sarvatha Sharna Pattis Tadiyanam. So Sarvatha means in all the situations, all the time. Sharna Pattis, I am a surrendered soul. Tadiyanam, to my Lord, all the spiritual master. So there's a famous verse in Padma Puran, Aradhana Nam Sarvesham, Vishnu Aradhanam Param, Tasmat Partaram Devi, Tadiyanam Samarchanam. Tadiyanam refers to anything which belongs to the Lord. Anything which belongs to the So Guru belongs to the Lord, paraphernalia belongs to the Lord. So all these things are called Tadiya. So it says Tadiya Samarchanam. So Lord Shiva is saying this to Mother Parvati. Vishnu, of all the worship, Vishnu Aradhanam Param, the topmost worship is Vishnu. But even on top of that, what is the higher worship than the worship of Lord Vishnu? Tasamat Partaram Devi. Partaram means usse bhi upar. Nattah Partaram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, 7.7. So Tasamat Partaram Devi, Tadiya Nam Samarchanam. If you do Archana of Tadiya of Vishnu, this is even higher. That means if you worship Krishna's devotee, they are even higher. Krishna's paraphernalia, anything which belongs Vrindavan Dham, for example, they are all tadiya of Krishna, so they are even higher. So, but example is given here. Bhakti Thakur, Sarvatha Sharna Pattis Tadiyana, being a surrendered soul. So Hari Bhakti Vilas says, my dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm conviction that he is yours, and who can actually act in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. So if you really want to relish that bliss, you have to surrender everything to the Lord. Nrsimha Puran, Lord Nrsimhadev is speaking, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter from me becomes my ward. Ward means I protect him, basically. And I protect him always from all sorts of calamities. Some examples are given. This is from Prabhupada. Surrendering everything to the Lord. This is the definition given by Prabhupada. Atmanivedanam versus being a surrendered soul, Sharanagati. They are two very closely related, but there is some subtle difference. So you understand the difference between 49 and 52. So 49 is Atmanivedan, which is surrendering everything to the Lord, versus Sarvatha Saranapatis Tadiyanam, Sharanagati. So anyone can imagine what's the difference between two, why they are mentioned as two items, not as one item, although they look very close. So they look close, why they are mentioned as two items. So there is some difference there. Anyone can guess what the difference is? So the question is again, Atmanivedan and Sharanagati, what is the difference? Okay, Atmanivedan, basically what Bali Maharaj did, he offered what he had to the Lord, right? So if he had, Sapta Deepa, 14 planetary systems and blah, blah, blah. Now, Prabhu, you were going to say something?
Yes, Prabhu, I was about to say the difference is between voluntarily surrendering to the Lord and then forcibly surrendering to the Lord. So in Atmanivedan, you are voluntarily doing it, whereas Sharanagati is when the situation is like that you have to do it. There is no other option.
Actually, it's other way. So Atmanivedan, actually, Bali Maharaj did not voluntarily of the force. Force in the sense of that situation came up. He did not go to the Lord in Vaikuntha and say, Lord, you take it, right? Lord came, situation arises, and he rose to the occasion and he did the perfect thing, no doubt. Whatever he had, he offered to the Lord. But he did not go to the Lord for offering everything, right? He did not go to the Lord's ashram, for example, right? And say, Lord, please take up everything, for example. In Sharanagati, this is what a devotee does. He is offering his everything to the Lord at every moment, not in a particular situation where we'll go and offer, which is also very, very high. Atmanivedan is extremely high, no doubt about it. But Sharanagati is where you offer everything to the Lord because you think, I am the property of Lord from the very beginning, not that I am the proprietor. Like Bali Maharaj had this feeling, I am the proprietor. And Lord took that away, which is fine. But in Sharanagati, Sarvatha, the word here is Sarvatha. Sarvatha means all the time. All the time. Not that you are in India, then you are Sharanagati, Australia. Okay, I'm the enjoyer now. I'm Videsh mein hu. I'm in foreign countries, enjoy. No, you're Australia, America, this, there, day and night. I'm the property of my Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Rupa Goswami, you are my property. You cannot damage my property. Ramanujacharya told his disciple, what was his name? Kusha? Anyone remembers the full name? Something to do with Kusha. Anyway, he was about to end his life, and he said to tell Lord to repair the property of my Guru Maharaj. So he said, you are my property. So a disciple is a property of Guru. Okay, I'll just read the somewhat. Atmanivedan means that one is surrendering his Atma to Krishna. Atma may be taken as the body or bodily attachments, or as the mind, or as the soul. So Atma has multiple meanings. He's surrendering everything. Example is Bali Maharaj, no doubt. Sharanagati. I am the property of Lord. Not that I'm surrendering myself to the Lord. From the very beginning, I'm the property of my Lord. This is called Sarvatha Sharanagati. In this relationship, it's more intimacy is there. Example is Bhakti Thakur. Now, Bhakti Thakur has written a verse on Sharanagati. Let's look at that. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya vajram rakshasyati iti vishwasho guptratve varnam tatha atmanikshepa karpanye shad vidha Sharanagati. It's a beautiful verse. We have read it in Bhagavad Gita as well. Prabhupada mentions in 1866. Beautiful verse. It gives the 6 points of surrender. And I'll just read the translation. We just don't have time to go through this verse. The 6 divisions of surrenders are accepting those things favorable to devotional service, rejecting unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, accepting Lord as one's guardian or master, full surrender with humility. With humility. These are the 6 aspects of surrender. And if you have this aspect, you don't have to do Atmaniyutam because you've already considered yourself as a property of the Lord all the time. So a situation will not arise where you will surrender. You're already surrendered fully from mind, body, and words. Some examples are given in Nectar of Devotions of Surrender. So CC Mother 22, 93 to 99, 6 divisions of surrender. We just read it. And Saksam Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Sharanagati song Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. Beautiful. I'll just read this. Really nice. Manas deha geha jo kichu mora arpilu tuva pade nanda kishore. So very Hindi, close to Hindi. Manas deha geha. So geha means, all my wife and other children and family. Deha is my body. So whatever I have, jo kichu more, arpilu tuapade, I'm offering that into the lotus feet, my dear Lord Nanda Kishore. Marabi, Rakabi, jo ichha tumar. So whatever you want to kill me, you want to protect me, Nitya das prati tuva adhikar. I'm your das. I'm your das. And this is your adhikar. You can kill me or you can protect me. Beautiful prayers. I'll just read. My mind, my household affairs, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. So if you like, you can kill me, or if you like, you can give me protection. All authority belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own. So you understood the difference between 49 and 52? So one is Sharanagati, one is Atmanivedan. Let's go to number 50. This is Nij Priyo Upaharanam. So Nij means apna, Priya means very dear, Upaharan means offering to the Lord. So what is very dear to you, you should offer that to the Lord. So in the olden days, people will offer, say, all their jewelry, all their money. They'll give it to temple, basically. So much they will offer to the Lord, much more than family. Nowadays, the things are other way. Whatever is left over, we offer that to the Lord. It should not be the case. We should offer the best thing to the Lord first. Offering the best items to the Lord, the best thing in one's possession, or something that Krishna likes the best. Both can be offered. So suppose, I have something very, very precious, very, very close to my heart. We should offer that. Chaitanya Prabhu says, if you cannot offer your heart to Krishna, offer what is in your heart to Krishna. Suppose in your heart a lot of money is there, offer your money to Krishna. By giving the money to Krishna, for example, your attachment to money will get reduced. So whatever is very dear to your heart, or whatever is very dear to Krishna. So Krishna likes Makhan, for example, offer Makhan to Krishna. One example, and there can be hundreds of it. So these two comes under Nija Priyo Upaharanam. So Upahar dena hai Lord ko Upahar. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prechati. So there also word upahar comes. Gift to Krishna. Give the best gift to Krishna. 11:41. My dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing in his possession or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited. So do not hesitate to offer to Lord. Do not hesitate because it's Lord's anyway. So where's the hesitation? Okay, 51. Tad arthe akhila cheshtitam. Tad arthe means for the pleasure of the Lord. Akhila means complete. Chesta means endeavor. For the pleasure of the Lord, you should do complete chesta, not half-heartedly. Many times, again, we do many seva half-heartedly, but we should do full-heartedly. I'm looking at Mohit Prabhu, for example, when he does his feast cooking, full-heartedly. He gives himself completely. Dive there. Sometimes I have to bring him up, especially in all the butters and sugars which he loves. So full chesta means full chesta. Once Prabhuji was doing fasting, this Bhishma Panchak fasting many years ago. 5 days Prabhuji did not accept any water. So every day he took this Panchagavya. One day Mohit Prabhu took like one spoonful of white milk, cow's milk, obviously. One day he took dahi, one day he took ghee, just one spoon. For 5 days he did Bhishma Panchak, and every day Prabhuji was cooking feast of 200 people at least every day. He was not just sitting in the temple. That is akhila, tad arthe akhila chesta. and other devotees on this call are similar. What can I say? The glories of these devotees. We have Prema Bhakti Mata, Divya Mataji, and so many others as well. They do their heart to Krishna, complete heart to Krishna. That's very nice, very, very nice. And yeah, sometimes we don't understand how they do it, but they have this bhav for Krishna, making full efforts for the Lord, and Lord includes his devotees, obviously. One should take all kinds of risks and perform all in the Prabhupada. Just one example again, took so many risks for Krishna. Akhila Chesta. He did not leave any stones unturned for the pleasure of Lord. Any stones. Whatever he could do, he did it. And he was not into number. He was not like, okay, I'm going to make 10,000 disciples. He said, even if I make one disciple, that's the last thing he was counting, but he wanted to do something for the pleasure of his Guru Maharaj. Okay, I'll not read. This is again from Nectar of Devotion, page 91, if you are interested. I'll just do the last one and then we can stop the class. This is the last one for this chapter. So it says, Sevanam Tadiyas Tulasi. So Tulsi Seva is very important. I've got a few quotations from few Shastra, which you can quickly read. Very nice. Mostly comes from Skanda Puran. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the Tulsi, which can immediately vanquish volumes of sinful activities. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from all distresses and disease. So if you're going under any stress or anxiety, what you should do as per this verse, serve Tulsi. By serving Tulsi, your anxieties will go, your distress will go. And same applies for cows as well. If you are under distress, anxiety, go and serve cows. And obviously you can serve the deities of Gopinath. So cows also help a lot. And many devotees personally experience just by petting the cow, feeding the cow, your anxieties will go. Even if you are mentally completely distressed, go and do cow seva, go seva. You'll be very benefited. Simply by offering obeisances to and pouring water on the Tulsi tree, one can become free from the fear of being sent to the court of Yamraj. That's nice. If someone sows a Tulsi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to Lord Krishna. There was a Maharaj in ISKCON, Bhakti Vishwambar Madhav Maharaj. He was so dear for this Tulsi Seva. He was known as Tulasi Maharaj. So his original name was Bhakti Vishwambar Madhav Maharaj, but people will call him Tulsi Maharaj. He has written a very nice book on Tulsi. If you need any information on Tulsi, you can buy that book. Yeah, it's very nice. Maharaj has put so much on Tulsi. When Tulsi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, there is full development of love of God. So if possible in your houses, please offer Tulsi every day to the lotus feet of Lord. Every day. One leaf, half leaf, whatever is available in your house. Offer that Tulsi or make arrangements so that you can offer Tulsi to the Lord. If you have a lot of Tulsis, give that to Gopinath for offering. You become very dear to Lord very fast. Okay, last one. Tulsi is auspicious in all respects simply by seeing, touching, remembering, praying to, simply by bowing before, simply by hearing about, simply by sowing this tree. There is always auspiciousness. Anyone who comes in touch with Tulsi tree in the above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. So Tulsi is very, very beautiful, very dear to Lord. Tulsi emanates a nice aura, you can say energy in the morning. So if you chant next to Tulsi, especially in the morning, you can chant any time of the day, especially in the morning. Your consciousness will get uplifted pretty fast. If you chant in the morning in front of Tulsi with devotees in the Lord's temple, the benefit is hundreds of times more than if you chant other times of the day alone, not in front of Tulsi and all those things. So yeah, again, not every house will have it because of practical reasons. So try to arrange a Tulsi in your house. Get Tulsi. There are devotees who can provide Tulsi plant, obviously at no cost. Get Tulsi from their houses. Have Tulsi in your house and distribute Tulsi. And that will be very nice service to the Lord. Okay, so chapter 11 finished. We have a question by Acharya Nishtha Prabhu. We'll take it quickly.
Prabhuji, in temple, Radhaji is having a Tulsi Maharani in the hand and in the leg.
Yes.
He pays those. First of all, why hand and leg, and
yeah,
and
so
why
Tulsi,
how do they paste it?
How they paste it with the chandan. That's a second answer, quick one. And the first thing, Tulsi is always on the feet of Krishna. There's a verse in 10th canto. I know the verse, but I can't remember at this stage. Okay, I'll not try to remember. Beautiful verse told by gopis about Tulsi. So Tulsi always resides in the lotus feet of Krishna. That's the first thing. So Gopinath will have Radharani. Tulsi and Radharani, they're both devotees. So you can't offer Tulsi to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Also, there is another thing coming to my mind. When you perform the Aarti, if, many of you know the deity worship. So when we offer the Aarti, 4, 2, 3, 7 in a proper order. When we come to Tulsi, we don't do 4, 2, 3, 7. When we have offered the Aarti to say Gopinath, then we offer the Aarti only on the head of the Tulsi and the head of Goswamis, head of the Parampara. Now we are considering Tulsi as a devotee who is the first recipient of the Aarti, or the Goswamis or our Guru Maharaj, like that. But when we do Tulsi Aarti, we haven't offered to the Lord, then we do 4, 2, 3, 7 of Tulsi Aarti as well. So Tulsi is treated as a devotee. But when we are worshipping Tulsi, then we do 4, 2, 3, 7. But we worshipping Lord, then we never do that to Tulsi. Tulsi will not accept what has been offered to the Lord to her lotus feet. How would she accept that? She's a devotee. So Radharani and Tulsi are both devotees, so that's why they are treated like that. Okay. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's stop here. It's 9:03. I'm Sundar Gopal Prabhu.